Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, allow your body to become a little heavier, a little calmer. Tonight, we travel back to April 14, 1912. The North Atlantic is vast and impossibly dark, stretching in every direction like an endless sheet of black glass. The air is cold, but not violent. There is no storm, no thunder, no dramatic warning, only stillness. The RMS Titanic moves steadily forward, her massive engines pulsing deep beneath the decks. The vibration is gentle, rhythmic, almost comforting for many passengers. This subtle hum has already become part of the background of their sleep. It is late evening. Dinner has ended hours ago. In first class, the grand staircase glows under warm electric light. The polished wood panels reflect a soft golden sheen. Conversations drift lazily through the corridors. A gentleman adjusts his cufflinks. A woman in a silk gown laughs quietly behind her gloved hand. Outside, on the boat deck, the night feels endless. The stars are extraordinarily bright, with no city lights to dim them. The sky feels close enough to touch. Constellations shimmer with icy clarity. The sea below mirrors the sky, dark and almost perfectly flat. There are no crashing waves, only a slow, silky movement as the ship parts the water. A young couple walks along the deck. Their breath appears faintly in the cold air. They pause near the railing, looking out at nothing but darkness and starlight. They speak softly about New York, about the life waiting for them. Behind them, the ship's funnels release faint trails of smoke that disappear into the night. Far below, in third class, families are settling in for sleep. Trunks are tucked beneath bunks. Children whisper before drifting off. For many, this voyage represents hope, a new beginning in America. The air smells faintly of salt and metal, mixed with the scent of wool blankets. In the smoking room, a few men remain awake. Cards are placed gently on green felt tables. Glasses clink softly. There is no sense of danger, no urgency, only the comfortable belief that this ship, the largest ever built, is unsinkable. The engines continue their steady rhythm deep in the boiler rooms. Stokers shovel coal into roaring furnaces. Sweat glistens on their foreheads despite the freezing. Ocean outside, they work methodically, unaware that history waits quietly ahead in the darkness. Shortly before midnight, the temperature drops further. The air becomes sharper, thinner. On the bridge, officers scan the horizon. The sea is calm to calm. There are no waves breaking against potential ice. No white foam to reveal danger. Lookouts stand high above in the crow's nest. Their eyes strain into the darkness. The cold bites at their faces. The ocean stretches endlessly forward. Back on deck, most passengers have gone to bed. The orchestra has finished playing for the evening. Silence settles gradually over the ship, broken only by distant footsteps and the low hum of machinery. Imagine yourself there now, you. Leaning against the railing, the metal is freezing beneath your fingers. The sky above is endless. The ocean below is unknowable. The ship feels strong, invincible even. There is no fear in your chest, only calm. Time passes quietly. At 11:40 p.m., something changes. Not violently, not dramatically. There is no explosion, no towering wave, only a subtle shudder. Like a long, gentle sigh passing through the steel hull. Some passengers barely notice it, a faint vibration beneath their feet, a pause in conversation, a raised eyebrow. Below the waterline, ice has brushed against metal. A long tear opens silently beneath the surface. The ocean begins to enter, softly at first, into. Space is never meant to hold it, but above, in those first moments, the night remains peaceful. A stirred reassures a curious guest. It is nothing, and for a few more minutes, that seems true. The stars still shine. The sea still lies flat and black. The lights still glow warmly in cabin windows. It is in this fragile space, between impact and understanding, that history feels suspended. balanced, quiet. As you listen now, allow yourself to remain in that stillness. Before panic, before lifeboats, before the world learned the name Titanic with sorrow, there was a night of calm, a night of music fading into silence. A night where dreams of America floated gently across dark water. The ship continues moving. Though slower now, water slips silently into hidden compartments. Engineers study gauges under harsh white lights. Their expressions grow serious, but controlled. On deck, a few more passengers gather, wrapped in coats over night clothes. Their confusion is mild, not fearful. The cold air wakes them fully. The band is asked to play again. Soft music drifts across the deck. Strings hum gently against the vast emptiness of the Atlantic. It is strangely beautiful, a lullaby offered to the night itself. Lifeboats hang quietly above, unused, their ropes coiled neatly. The crew begins uncovering them, movements calm and procedural. Still, there is no screaming, no chaos yet, only disbelief, only the slow dawning of something difficult to accept. If you had stood there feeling the cold air against your face, hearing distant music mix with the hum of engines slowing to a stop, would you have believed the ship could sink? Would you have returned to your cabin or stayed beneath the stars? The water remains dark and flat. The iceberg drifts away behind them, silent and indifferent. Minutes stretch. The tilt is barely noticeable at first. A slight forward lean. A slight shift in balance. History often changes in explosions and fire. But sometimes it changes in silence. The last quiet hours of the Titanic were not filled with terror. They were filled with ordinary moments, people fastening coats, finishing conversations, glancing at the sky. And perhaps that is what makes them so haunting, because even in the presence of disaster, the world can feel calm. Now, as you relax deeper, imagine the ship as it was in that final peaceful window, lights glowing against black water, music floating into the night, stars watching from above. The Atlantic remains vast, the sky remains infinite, and somewhere in that stillness, history turns softly. Take another slow breath, and let the quiet of that night carry you gently towards sleep. If you had been there in those final calm moments aboard the Titanic, where would you have stood? On the grand staircase beneath warm golden light, on the silent deck under a sky full of stars, or in a quiet cabin, unaware that the ocean was slowly rising below? Tell me in the comments.